Before we start, I'd like for everyone to stand. We'll say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Okay.
Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. This should only take an hour and a half. We'll get you guys out of here by 10. I'm teasing. Good evening and welcome to our 2023 State of the City Address and Meet the Mayor event, even though I know most of you here. This evening I'll be presenting the city affairs and information pertaining to 2022, as well as highlighting some current events that are taking place in our community. Before we begin, I would like to introduce several notable individuals joining us this evening. Behind me, our Council President, Ann D'Amico, our Council Member at Large, Ed Hargate, Council Member at Large, Sean Milroy, Ward 1 Council Member Carol Ganser, Ward 2 Council Member Frank DeLalla, Ward 3 Council Member and Council President Pro Tem Anthony DeLisio, Ward 4 Council Member Bob Goff, our Police Chief Dennis Matasik, Fire Chief William Turner, Lyndhurst Municipal Court Judge Dominic Coletta, Finance Director Joe Filippo, Service Director Brian Belfiore, Law Director Michael Lagrasso. Mike is also our City Prosecutor, our Building Commissioner Dale Gradfelder, our City Engineer Brian Mader. My Executive Assistant is en route Jolene Grieve, Community Center Coordinator Sonny D'Angelo, Receptionist and our Highland Heights Senior Coordinator Mary Vallada. Sonny Simon is here, he's a member of Cuyahoga County Council. Thank you for being here. Senator Kent Smith is here, 21st Senate District. Thank you for being here as well. And don't beat him up too bad, Tony Ramos from NOPEC is also here this evening. Listen, every time I hear you, you always make us laugh, so I got to return the favor. So thank you for being here. As the Mayor and the Safety Director for the City of Highland Heights, it is my responsibility to prepare an annual State of the City report for the residents and businesses of our community. I'm honored to be your mayor and to call the City of Highland Heights my home for over 26 years. Our city is a close-knit community that is a wonderful place to live, raise a family, work, or even own a business. Our motto, the city with pride and promise, is truly how we operate, plan, budget, and make decisions that are in the best interest of our community. The promise to our resident is always to provide the highest level of services in an efficient and cost-effective manner. This is achieved through the collaboration of progressive City Council and administration. I have had the privilege of working with great staff of the employees, with my great staff and the loyal and dedication of our first responders. And I want to digress for a minute because the staff here is really, really, truly amazing, and we couldn't get what we get done without the help and the work of these individuals around me and the ones that I had mentioned earlier. So hats off to all of them. The City of Highland Heights offers a comfortable and convenient balance of neighborhoods, green space, and business parks, all with easy access to downtown Cleveland and other regional amenities. The unique and special qualities of our city and our lands is recognized in Cleveland's magazine as a top 20 suburb in the annual Rating of the Suburbs report. In 2022, we ranked number 11, which was up 6 spots from the previous year. This rating is based on many factors, including safety, the quality of our school systems, walkability, and median home values, amongst other factors. In addition, the City of Highland Heights has been rated as one of the top 20 wealthiest suburbs according to Cleveland Crane's Business. We appreciate this recognition, as this type of positive PR greatly increases the desirability of our community with prospective home buyers and businesses that are looking to relocate. Recognition like this would not be possible without the hard work and dedication of all the city department staff. As we emerge from the pandemic and after coming out of a very challenging 2021, we began 2022 cautiously optimistic, with the realization of what we needed to do to remain conservative and stringent in our planning, while at the same time maintaining services and programming that our residents expect from their city leaders. 2022 was a year of thoughtful planning and continuing to adapt to change as the remote work model directly impacted the city's revenues. In 2022, I, along with City Council, began discussions regarding the deterioration of the police and fire department building. All of our municipal buildings have approached 40 years of age. The police and fire department building had been experiencing failures and major inefficiencies within the walls of both buildings. With a very favorable interest rate, the city made the decision to take out a $5 million 20-year bond for the desperately needed repairs to these buildings. These improvements would include a new roof, HVAC, correction of water infiltration, and other structural improvements. These improvements will help the building remain structurally sound for years to come. Last spring, the city went out to bid on this project, and it was awarded to A-Star Inc. The project began in the summer of 2022, with sections of the roof and gutter system being installed. Masonry work also took place with the favorable weather conditions we had last fall. In the spring of 2023, City Council awarded the interior repairs and renovations to a company, PCS and Build, to handle the HVAC and update the electrical fixtures and renovations. In May of 2023, both police and fire department staff members were displaced from the existing building and were relocated to work out of trailers, as I'm sure you all saw as you pulled in, here on the municipal grounds, until the completion of the project. The dispatch center has remained open during the project, with the exception of a 2-week period where our dispatchers were relocated to Mayfield Village to allow the contractor time to conduct the work in the dispatch center. The project has been running on schedule and is on track with a targeted completion date of late October, early November. Once completed, we are planning to host an open house and a ribbon cutting ceremony to showcase the renovations of both buildings. In 2022, the city saw several retirements and the addition of new staff members. In January, Kathy Herman announced her retirement after 20 years of employment with the city of Highland Heights. Kathy had worked in the finance department as an accounts payable clerk and as an administrative assistant in the fire department for 8 years. In February of 2022, Kathleen Shaughnessy joined the city of Highland Heights Finance Department to replace Kathy Herman. Kathleen brought many years of experience from another municipality. She is responsible for accounts payable as well as other administrative duties within the department. Her enthusiasm and work ethic made her a great addition to the staff. In March of 2022, Regina Cahill announced her retirement as her clerk of council after she began with the city 7 years ago. Regina did an outstanding job preparing city agendas, legislation, and minutes. In April of 2022, the city welcomed Lydia Donatelli as our new clerk of council. Lydia's strong organizational skills and motivation to learn have been an asset to our staff. In June of 2022, our longtime law director, Tim Paloff, retired after dutifully serving our city for 30 years. Tim began serving our city in 1988 when he was appointed to serve on the Civil Service Commission. Tim was appointed law director in 1992 under the former mayor of Virginia Swanson and served in his position under 4 mayors. Also, in June of 2022, Michael LaGrassa was appointed as our new law director. Michael currently serves the city of Highland Heights as a prosecutor as well. His work ethic, loyalty, and reputation has made him an excellent choice for this position. 2022 also marks significant movement within the Highland Heights Police Department, and I will share that a little bit later in this presentation. The city of Highland Heights remained financially strong in 2022 with a general fund balance of just over $8 million. Our local city taxes were slightly down $557,000, or 4.82%. The city received $530,000 in county ARPA funds, which included the following: $130,000 for baseball field renovations, $100,000 for Park Trail Connectivity Project, $50,000 for your municipal technology upgrade project, $20,000 for the community center, which included some remodeling and some upgrades, and $250,000 for an emergency generator for the police and fire department. We also received $20,000 from the Cuyahoga County Veterans Service Commission for upgrades to the Highland Heights Veterans Peace Memorial. As our Veterans Peace Memorial grounds have surpassed 25 years, improvements are being made to upgrade the landscaping as well as new signage and lighting. Metropolitan Veterinary Hospital, which became a part of the City of Highland Heights in fall of 2021, continues to grow with their expansion of their operations in the city, which now include the Metropolitan Veterinary Academy. This program is only offered at their Highland Heights location and offers students a 10-month veterinary assistance diploma. This program allows students the opportunity to apply their knowledge from the classrooms immediately into the 24-hour facility, assisting veterinary technicians and veterinarians with emergency cases in the state of an art hospital right here in Highland Heights. With people working from home and the uncertainty of income tax collections, we continue to take a conservative approach with our spending. Our expenditures for 2022 were about $1.1 million less than budgeted. Our 2022 revenues were up about $298,000 over estimated. Expenses exceeded our revenue by $431,000. I would be remiss if I did not address the current situation with Progressive Insurance and how the building vacancies financially impact the City of Highland Heights. Progressive Insurance's withholding was down $1.7 million in 2022 compared to 2021, and down $2.1 million from 2020, which was before the work-from-home model began. Employer withholdings from employers in the city was 82% in 2020 and is now only 71%. We have seen an increase from residential collections go from 12% in 2020 to currently 14%. The resident collections still have not equaled out the lost revenue from people not working in the city. To provide clarification, 92.5% of income tax collection goes into our general fund, and 7.5% goes into our debt service fund. 2022 also marked the year for our city charter to be reviewed. This process takes place once every 5 years. The city charters committee is comprised of 9 volunteer residents. This process takes several months to complete. A charter review public submittal form is available to any resident who would like to submit an amendment or suggest a change to the city charter. Upon completion of this process, the charter review committee may propose amendments to the city charter to be enacted. If this is the case, and it was, in 2022, the recommendation to place a revision to the city charter will need to be placed on the ballot in the November general election. As a result of this process, last fall, a millage proposal was placed on the November 8th ballot of 2022. As it pertained to the millage that was collected for the police and fire pensions. The Charter Review Committee recognized this issue as a burden on the general fund, and it had been approved by had it been approved by the voters, it would have given City Council the ability to raise the current millage of 0.6 up to 2.0 mils if and when necessary. This would help defray the expense from the general fund. To reiterate, this would have only been raised if necessary and could have been changed annually. These funds would strictly go to the police and fire pensions and not used for general operating expenses. This ballot issue failed 68% to 32%. The current rate of 0.6 mils was voted on by the residents in 1966 and went into effect in 1967 and has remained the same ever since. The city uses millage to collect taxes from residents to help pay for the police and fire pension liabilities that the city must pay. The reason that this appeared on last year's ballot is because the state legislature had a proposal on the table to raise the municipal contribution rates over the next 5 years, increasing the city's portion by $47,000 the first year, $97,000 the second, $150,000 the third, $206,000 the fourth, and $265,000 for the 5th year. While I remain optimistic that our state legislators understand how crucial this issue could be if passed, we need to continue to be as proactive as we can to prepare for the future. I plan to revisit this topic with City Council shortly into my next term. In 2022, the City of Highland Heights welcomed several new businesses, which included Boost Wellness, located on Wilson Mills. Boost Wellness provides the latest in health, wellness, and beauty services. These services include aesthetics, weight management, hydration, and more. Although they did not open until the late late spring of 2023, the city of Highland Heights welcomed, after much anticipation, the opening of Tijuana Street Tacos Mexican restaurant. Major renovations and remodeling began in 2021 in the former Don Nacho's restaurant. The owners were faced with some very challenging times due to the pandemic, with the shortage of contractors and difficulty getting construction supplies. We officially welcomed them in the ribbon-cutting ceremony in June of this year. The spring of 2022 also marked the beginning of our new programs for the city of Highland Heights. The inaugural launch of our Hometown Heroes banner program began last May. This program proudly recognizes our current and former residents who have served our country in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine Corps, Coast Guard, National Guard. 26 banners were displayed along Highland Road beginning on Memorial Day and remain hung until Veterans Day. I'm pleased to show that this program added another 20 banners in 2023, making our Hometown Heroes banner program very impactful. The most positive response and compliments we have received are very heartwarming. On my daily drive in, some may have heard this on my Memorial Day speech, but I have to say it again because it's the truth. On my daily drive in here to City Hall, I do apologize for anyone who drives behind me, as my speed limit does not excess 20 miles an hour. I gaze every day at those banners displayed on Highland Road, and mine are now, and I can't help but feel how proud I am and filled with gratitude for these individuals, as we recognize and respectfully recognize them for their commitment to serve and protect our country. We also implemented our very first ever community cleanup day to coincide with Earth Day. In partnership with the Highland Heights Green Task Force, we invited our residents, their families, and friends to help us clean up our sidewalks, open spaces to the park, and in the park, We had approximately 40 volunteers and collected over 300 pounds of trash. We divided up into groups to cover the various areas of the city that were most in need of being cleaned up. While we couldn't get to all the areas, we were very proud of our efforts in helping to keep Highland Heights beautiful. Another initiative that I felt worthy of exploring in 2021 was the addition of walking trails in our community park. This has been a lengthy process, which began with a town hall meeting in September of 2021 to conduct a park connectivity study. This provided an opportunity for our residents to share their input and feedback in this potential project. That meeting was productive, and we received some very good feedback. An online survey was made available to the residents who were unable to attend the meeting. In 2022, the City of Highland Heights was awarded $200,000, $100,000 from the State Capital Improvement Fund, and $100,000 from the Cuyahoga County ARPA Fund Grant Program towards this project. West Creek Conservancy and Friends of Euclid Creek were extremely helpful during this process, and I am happy to report this project is currently underway, and we hope to have this completed by the end of fall. The Building Department, under the direction of the Building Commissioner Dale Graffelder, has a full-time building inspector, a full-time administrative assistant. The Building Department personnel are fully certified by the State of Ohio Board of Building Standards to enforce the Ohio Building Code and Residential Code for the safety of all of our residents and businesses. The department handles the issuance of all permits for both residential and commercial construction. In 2022, the department issued 625 permits, 12 for new construction, 109 commercial permits. These permits generated total receipts of $338,000 with an estimated construction value of $9.2 million. Beginning in November of 2022, the first permits were issued for the newest housing development in Highland Heights called Grappa Farms. Grappa Farms, located within the Maypine Farms development, will feature 21 new luxury home sites with construction by Pro-Build Homes and Gem Construction. Several homes under this construction with approximately 7 lots remaining. In 2020, a residential rental program was implemented. From the information obtained through the county for 2022, we had a total of 78 rental properties within the city, or 2% of total properties in Highland Heights. Of the 78 rental properties, we were able to register 51. Of the 51 registered rental properties, 51 inspections, re-inspections were performed. The goal for 2022 was to make sure all rental properties were registered with the city. The Building Department by ordinance tracks and permits foreclosed filings with the city. This information is shared with Highland Heights Fire and Police Departments. In 2022, the building department received one foreclosure notification. At the end of 2022, the home had still not been resold. The building department is responsible for enforcing all zoning laws, property maintenance codes, stormwater management plans, including roadside ditch and rear yard swale maintenance, and the issuance of right-of-way permits. Last year, the department issued 105 violation notices, primarily identifying violations and enforcing our zoning, residential, and business maintenance codes. As in years past, high grass, property exterior maintenance, and commercial vehicles parked in residential driveways remains the most common of all violations. The city's finance department, under the direction of Finance Director Joe Filippo, is established under the city charter and as such, it oversees all fiscal matters of the city of Highland Heights. The finance department is responsible for the following: administration of employee benefits, all payroll functions, collections of revenues and timely payments of city liabilities, investments of city funds, and the management of our debt. The finance department is comprised of 4 full-time staff members, which include the finance director, payroll administrator, accounts receivable clerk, accounts payable clerk. Our staff generates annual financial statements and assets to the outside certified public accounting firm to prepare their annual audit. The finance department has consistently received the Ohio Auditor State of Award for excellence in financial reporting according to the generally accepted accounting principles, or GAAP. Less than 10% of municipalities receive this award. Mr. Filippo has been a finance director for 18 years and has been with the city of Highland Heights for 11. The fire department, under the direction of Chief William Turner, continues to provide superior services to the residents of our community. Chief Turner has served our community for over 35 years, the last 15 as chief. In addition to Chief Turner, he is also the emergency coordinator for the city. As emergency coordinator, Chief Turner is responsible for planning, developing, and implementing citywide policies and programs related to the emergency management in order to meet county, state, and federal mandates. The fire department has a public protection classification rating of 2, with a rating of 1 being the highest, as issued by ISO. Less than 75 departments in the state are rated a 1 or 2. I'm happy to report that for the 3rd year in a row, the department has received the Mission Lifeline Gold Plus Award from the American Heart Association for pre-hospital cardiac and stroke care provided to the residents. Our firefighters are cross-trained and provide both fire suppression and advanced emergency medical care. Our paramedics operate under the medical control of university hospitals, but will transport residents to any local hospital under normal circumstances. The department also provides fire prevention, public education, hazardous material response and mitigation, technical rescue, and preparedness and response to both man-made and natural disasters. In addition to fire suppression and emergency medical services, the department is also a member of the Highland Heights Technical Rescue Team, comprised of approximately 75 firefighters and paramedics from the cities of Beechwood, Cleveland Heights, Euclid, Gates Mills, Lyndhurst, Mayfield Heights, Mayfield Village, Pepper Pike, Richmond Heights, Shaker Heights, South Euclid, University Heights, and Willoughby Hills that are trained in specialty rescue. The team specializes in swift water rescue, building collapse, confined space, ice, dive, trench, rope, and tower rescue. The fire department continually receives praise from residents and hospital staff for their outstanding pre-hospital care. As a part of the community outreach effort, Highland Heights Fire Department provides no-cost CPR, AED, first aid, stop the bleed, and fire extinguishing training to both residents and businesses within the city. The department continues to work with the support efforts of the Community Emergency Response Team, otherwise known as CERT. The fire department also sponsors Boy Scout Troop 461 and provides on-site aluminum can recycling for the aluminum cans for burned children. In 2022, the complement of the fire department was 20 full-time members, 4 part-time members. This includes chief, assistant chief, an administrative assistant, 4 lieutenants, and 14 firefighters. The department operates on a 24-hour on, 48-hour off basis with a minimum of 4 firefighters per shift. As I briefly mentioned earlier, during the course of 2022, retirements and promotions created significant change in the Highland Heights Police Department leadership staff. June 1st of 2022 marked the end of an era for the City of Highland Heights and the Highland Heights Police Department. Police Chief James Cook retired after serving our great city for 52 years as a member of the Highland Heights Police Department and 32 years as Chief of Police. Chief Cook began his career as a patrolman in 1970 and was promoted through the ranks until being named Chief in 1990. Chief Cook led his department as a distinguished leader, mentor, role model, and exemplary public servant to the City of Highland Heights and to our residents. On June 3rd, on June 3rd of 2022, I had the privilege of swearing in our new police chief, Dennis Matasic. Dennis has served the City of Highland Heights as police lieutenant since 2014 and has been with the police department since 1995. Chief Matasic is responsible for the overall effective and efficient management of the department. Chief Matasic's primary responsibilities include all administrative functions and responsibilities, such as recruitment and selection, developing community relation programs and services, and overseeing all training and recruitment of sworn-in officers and civilian personnel. He was assisted by the lieutenant. He was assisted by the lieutenant, administrative assistant, and communication specialist. On June 6, 2022, Brian DeSati was sworn in as the new police lieutenant. Brian has served as police sergeant since 2014, and he has also been with the Highland Heights Police Department since 1998. In addition, Tony Setlock and Matthew Evers were promoted to sergeant, and 2 full-time patrol officers were hired in 2022. With the increased movement in the police department, the goal moving forward is to provide the new leadership with advanced training to allow them to perform their jobs. New sergeants have and will attend the Police Executive Leadership College in Columbus to further enhance their skills. During 2023, Lieutenant Brian DeSati will attend the CLE, which is the Certified Law Enforcement Executive Program. CLE program offers law enforcement leaders the opportunity to embark on a 14-month professional journey that will enhance their knowledge, provide them with the specialized tools to increase their effectiveness, and challenge them to identify their vision, guiding principles, and core values in service to their communities. The department consists of 48 employees. 29 are sworn police officers, and an additional 19 are civilian and part-time employees. The department's organizational structure consists of an administrative assistant to the chief, detective bureau, patrol unit, jail facility, communication specialist, records unit, communication center, and school crossing guards. Emergency services are provided by the police and fire departments through a 24-hour dispatching center located in our communication center. In November of 2021, the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies, otherwise known as CALEA, awarded our department its 2nd National Law Enforcement Accreditation Award. Known as the gold standard, less than 4% of the country's police departments have earned this award. To remain compliant, an annual remote and site-based assessment is conducted by CALEA to review standards that show proof and documentation of compliance, reviewing of our policy, personnel, the procedures, and the activities of our officers while on duty in the community, and other critical measures of compliance with the applicable standards, and the living the spirit of those standards in order to continue its CALEA law enforcement status. The department is annually assessed by a team of law enforcement executive who inspects facilities, policies, and procedures. Currently, the department completed in July of 2021 its 4-year major assessment. It consisted of a detailed review again of all facility security, policies, procedures, and interviews with officers and community members concerning the delivery of services to the community. The assessment focused on use of force, communication, internal affairs, evidence and property, and community involvement programs. The department was found in compliance and received recommendation from the National Accreditation. The accreditation award by the Commission for Law Enforcement will continue for a 4-year period until 2025 with annual web-based reviews. Our jail facility passed all 104 inspection points in 2022 and was found to be fully in compliance by the Ohio Department of Rehabilitation and Correction. In 2022, there were 122 inmates incarcerated in the facility for a total of 1,757 hours. Late last year, the city completed its 4th year of deer management with a plan from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources, Division of Wildlife, and a permit was issued to harvest the deer by whitetail and safely, humanely managed, and biologically and socially acceptable deer population. An infrared study was completed last fall, which provided us with an update of the number of deer in our community. While the subject remains sensitive, we safely and successfully called 151 deer in 2022, which was similar to the previous year. Residential safety continues to be a priority for our community. Our neighboring communities share the same concerns as they are also taking part in culling programs. The deer population in our community remains the #1 complaint call that I receive in my office. With that being said, we will continue to assess the deer population annually. The Highland Heights Police Department continued its community relations incentives, which included crime prevention programs, providing a school resource officer to Millridge, and a school safety program. The DARE program is a police officer-led series of classroom lessons that teaches children from kindergarten through 12th grade how to resist peer pressure and live drug-free and a violence-free life. Our dedicated police officer, Melissa Kelly, will be teaching our elementary students at Millridge and St. Pascal Elementary for the 2023-2024 school year. In 2021, the police department had approximately 14,000 requests for service. These requests were broke down by the following: criminal events, 432, assistance to citizen conflicts, 261, traffic safety, 4,483, emergencies was 3,935, general duties, 5,195, and jail activities was 350. In 2022, the City of Highland Heights Service Department, under the direction of Service Director Brian Belfiore, was able to continue and fulfill its objective of delivering superior services to our residents, businesses, and to the public in an efficient, cost-effective manner. The Highland Heights Department of Public Services continues to serve our growing community of 8,700 residents, with more than 3,500 homes and 200 businesses. The department is responsible for the maintenance and improvement of the publicly owned infrastructure and public land, including more than 92 lane miles of roadway, 102 12 acres of public property, and 112 acres of public property. The department interacts with the city safety forces and other departments, as well as the county, state, federal, and other public agencies to coordinate a wide range of services to our community. The Highland Heights Service Department is comprised of a staff of 10 full-time servicemen, 1 part-time serviceman, and seasonal employees. They also have an administrative assistant and assistant service director. The department provides routine and emergency public works services to the residents and businesses and the visitors to our city. Department personnel are on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, to respond to all emergency needs of the community. Under the leadership of Service Director Brian Belfiore, the Service Department has taken on a more proactive role of providing in-house services, such as road repairs, park maintenance, fleet vehicle and equipment maintenance, sidewalk repair and replacement, a year-round brush collection and tree trimming program. The Service Department continues to maintain a strong focus on providing exceptional services to our residents and businesses while utilizing the most cost-effective measures. In addition to programmed activities such as road patching, crack sealing, street sweeping, catch basin cleaning, property maintenance, leaf collection, snow plowing, the department responds to hundreds of miscellaneous requests for service. Additionally, the Service Department provides residential collection programs at various times throughout the year for brush, computers, household hazardous waste, and shredding. The city's curbside solid waste and recycling program is contracted through Kimball Recycling and Disposal. Kimball has provided service to our community since 2004. The contract serves approximately 3,500 homes. In June of 2022, the city went through the bidding process for the lowest and best bidder for refuse. Kimball Recycling and Disposal was awarded yet another contract based on meeting the criteria and being the lowest bidder. The length of the contract is 5 years with a 2-year option to extend services. In the best interest of the city, Highland Heights partnered with Mayfield Village in order to obtain the best possible quotes. In 2022, the department's operating budget exceeded $2.5 million, and we assisted with the planning and management of $1.8 million in capital infrastructure improvements. Projects of significance over the past year included full-depth concrete repairs and an asphalt overlay on Sandhurst, the widening and reconstruction of Lander Road and sidewalk replacement between Wilson Mills and Blakely Drive. This project incorporated stormwater improvements, which the city received a reimbursement through the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District's Community Cost Share Program. Concrete repairs at Highland Woods East, sidewalk extension on East Legend Court to the mailboxes, and a sidewalk extension along Alpha Drive connecting to Highland Road. These repairs were scheduled to be completed by CA Agresta in early 2023. Additionally, the 2022 road program included 3 separate bids for the Lander Road walkway, a concrete program, and the street striping program. The Lander Road extension project was one of the most significant street upgrades completed in the city. This completed roadway reconstruction project widened Lander Road between Wilson Mills and Blakely. Work included removal of the existing asphalt portion of roadway and installing new concrete and paving and curbing. This project also included the replacement of the asphalt sidewalk between Wilson Mills Road and Blakely with concrete. The project incorporated stormwater improvements, which the city was reimbursed $454,000 from the Northeast Ohio Sewer District Community Cost Share Program. The project was completed by Fabrizi Trucking and Paving at a total cost of $1.1 million. The concrete program included full-depth concrete repairs, catch basin repairs, curb and gutter repairs, and other miscellaneous work in the following locations: Sandhurst, Highland Woods East, and a sidewalk along Alpha Drive connecting Highland Road. East Legend sidewalk work was performed in other miscellaneous locations. This project also incorporated an asphalt overlay on Sandhurst Drive and upgrades and enhancements to Highland Road and Alpha Drive intersection signalization controls and infrastructure to accommodate the pedestrian crossing. The project was completed by CA Agresta at a cost of $632,000. Street striping was completed by Pat Flowers Incorporated for $52,000. The service department's in-house road program included miscellaneous road repairs, curb repairs, and catch basin repairs. The department poured approximately 132 yards of cement in 2022. There's multiple streets that the service department did this work on. There's quite a bit, so I'm not going to name all of them, but there was probably 25 to 30 streets where the service department took on the responsibility in-house to get that work completed. Additionally, in-house crack sealing was performed on Strumley, Diana Court, and other locations that were miscellaneous curb and gutter, pavement, and catch basin repairs were made by the department. For the first time, the City of Highland Heights earned recognition as a Tree City USA in 2022. Tree City USA is one of the Arbor Day Foundation's oldest programs. On June 9th, 2022, I had the privilege of attending the Tree City USA recognition event with our service director, Brian Belfiore, at the Village of Richfield. To qualify as a Tree City USA community, we needed to meet requirement of 4 standards set by the Arbor Day Foundation and National Association of State Foresters. These included a tree board or department, a tree care ordinance, a community forestry program, and an Arbor Day observation and proclamation. I am incredibly proud of this recognition and the excellent work of our service department in providing and helping to beautify our community and improving and preserving our tree canopy in our city. The Tree City USA signs are currently displayed on Wilson Mills and Highland Road. The service department maintains an on-call staff available around the clock to handle snow plowing, de-icing, and other emergencies which may arise. During non-business hours, the service department relies on our police department to advise when there's a need for service. A staff of 10 with the 2 part-timers covers approximately the 92 lane miles of road and 23 miles of sidewalk throughout the city. as well as parking lots on the municipal property. During the evening and overnight hours, manpower is reduced by half as the workforce splits to cut up into two groups to maintain around-the-clock service. Along with the Park and Recreation Committee, Recreation Director David Iannero is responsible for planning and coordinating all recreational activities within the city. With the help of program managers, directors, commissioners, seasonal employees, and volunteer coaches, the Recreation Department offers a wide range of quality recreational programs and entertainment for all to enjoy. Community events sponsored by the Park and Rec Commission in 2022 included the Easter Bunny Egg Trail, the Woodstick Open, Movie Night at the Park, Craft Days in the Park, which is also sponsored by the Highland Heights Garden Club, the Neighborhood Community Bike Ride, live music and family fun nights at our community pool, and the Community Holiday Lighting Children's Party. In 2022, the summer recreation programs offered included baseball, softball, t-ball, tennis, pickleball, swim lessons, and day camp. The Highland Heights Community Pool is also home to the Highland Heights Hurricane Swim Team. Last month, Highland Heights proudly hosted the 2023 Suburban Swim League Championships, there were several hundred swimmers from neighboring communities, which they competed. I got to say it was a crazy event. It's the first time they actually went down to the park, and there was quite a bit of people down there. It was really, really nice to have them there to showcase our park. It was close to several thousand people in our park, so very proud we're to have that event here. The Highland Heights Community Pool, which is located within the park, is open to the Highland Heights and Mayfield School District residents and their guests. The zero-entry pool is approximately 10,000 square feet. Residents receive our annual Summer Sizzler each spring, which provides pertinent information on pool passes, swimming lessons, tennis lessons, day camp, and other summer activities. Residents may register in person at City Hall or by using our online registration link on our website. We are fortunate that our city offers such a wide range of quality programs and activities for our children and our adults of all ages to enjoy. The Highland Heights Community Park is also home to our annual Community Day and Parade. The city of Highland Heights was also awarded an OPEC Energy Savings Grant in the amount of $23,879. Funds received are to be used for energy-related projects. In 2022, the conversion to LED lighting in all of the City Hall took place. In addition, the replacement of all lights in the municipal complex parking lot were converted to LED lighting. This year's projects will include replacements of all lights in the community center and their conversion to LED lighting. The City of Highland Heights increased its means of communication to our residents in 2022 with the implementation of an e-newsletter entitled Mayor Brunello's Monthly Message. The e-newsletter format allows us to briefly communicate updates in between our regular newsletter distribution, which includes city events, construction updates, roadwork notification, and reminders. The first edition began in December of 2022, with monthly editions sent out at the end of each month. In August of 2022, the city completed a full website refresh. My executive assistant, Jolene Grieve, spearheaded this initiative, which took over 1 year to complete. The refresh went live mid-August of 2022. The objectives on the website refresh were to improve ease of use and to create a consistent, organized layout. Our menus, links, and buttons were reconfigured and enhanced to be organized in such a way that they are clearly delineated from one another and easily navigated throughout the entire site. Our update also included all new images to create a fresh new look and to improve the overall visual aesthetics. The most noteworthy new feature on our website is that we are now fully ADA compliant. The ADA icon located at the bottom right of the screen indicates our ADA compliancy, which is now being continuously monitored on our website. This feature allows all visitors to our city website to have an optimal experience, regardless of the individual's abilities, and makes the digital content more accessible for people with disabilities. In the spring of 2022, a new digital marquee sign was installed at the entrance of the community park. The new marquee sign has provided a more vibrant way to the city to advertise and communicate upcoming events. This past spring, we expanded our social media outlets to include Instagram and YouTube. While our current Facebook page remains the main social media page for the city, Instagram was added to give an opportunity to showcase and highlight our community events in a fun, lighthearted way. Our YouTube channel allows us to share our annual Memorial Day observance ceremonies, virtual tours of our community center and rooms that are available for rental, and other relevant footage. Tonight's State of the City address will be added to the YouTube channel for residents who are unable to attend this evening. As the former council president and representative at large, I can truly appreciate the hard work and dedication of each and every individual council representative here. As mayor, I look forward to continuing the good work with council towards our common goal of serving the needs of our residents and businesses in our community in the best possible way. I and City Council are both excited to share we have moved forward with many new projects in 2023. The Veterans Peace Memorial upgrades, which included new signage and improvements to the landscaping and lighting. The community center upgrades, which includes updated landscaping and the conversion to LED lighting. And the completed renovation and resurfacing of all 8 tennis courts, which is currently underway. As we look forward to 2024, I've given some consideration to several new initiatives. We'd like to reinstitute a city-wide sidewalk program. Sorry guys, I know it's a rough subject. We're also going to have to look into a capital levy, which is going to be something that's going to be a big initiative for all of us here. We're also going to be looking into and addressing some continuing drainage and flooding issues that we're continuing to see throughout the community. So that's just to name a few that we're going to be tackling in 2024. In addition to serving as mayor, I also serve as the safety director for the city. Many cities similar in size have mayors that also serve in this dual capacity role. Within the community, I currently serve as the vice president of the Suburban Police Anti-Crime Network, which is SPAN. The Eastern Suburban Regional Council of Governments, SPAN, is a unit comprised of members from the following Hillcrest Police Departments. Us, of course, Lyndhurst, Mayfield Heights, Mayfield Village, and Richmond Heights. SPAN members are highly trained and skilled in special weapons and tactics, bomb squad procedures, hostage negotiation, accident investigation, and drug enforcement. And finally, within our school community, it is my pleasure to serve as a member of the Excel Tech Advisory Council, as well as on the Advisory Council on Instructional Innovation. I also serve on the Council of Government for the Community Partnership on Aging, otherwise known as the CPA. CPA is an organization that was established in 1978. It was formerly known as the Tri-City Consortium on Aging, and was organized to meet the needs of senior adults, their caregivers, and families. As your mayor, I remain invested in the continued success of our city, and I give my word that we will continue to remain financially strong by remaining fiscally responsible during these ever-changing and challenging times. My focus is always to provide the very best services to our residents and businesses of our community. Thank you, and at this time, if anyone has any questions for council or any of our department heads, we will be around to take those questions. So thank you all for coming out this evening, and we look forward to seeing you again next year. Thank you.
She could run them all.
If you're gonna run them all, you just throw them in your computer.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the way we think.
I'm gonna give you people again.
Keep trying to go.
That's fine. I just,
That way, it's like even if somebody wants them, it's just easy.
You too, how are you? Great, how are you? Good, good.
Go in, pull a permit, share with their
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we could do that.
I thought he was.
No, I mean, I can print them, but to me, it's just as easy to be able to put them all in